Hello, everyone, and welcome to BranchUP. Today's podcast is going to be about polygamy. So we're going to go and dive right into this. First, polygamy is when a person, male or female, take on other types, other relationships. They could be married and have another wife. Okay. We all know polygamy is illegal to be married to more than one person in most states. But in nowadays, with the union, having union and marriages by union, you are basically saying that you are married to these people. You might be married to one actually on paper, but you're having unions with other people and creating those type of marriages. Okay, so first thing we're going to dive into is what do we feel about this, ladies? I mean, whether it's a man or woman taking 2 wives, 3 wives, 4 wives, however many they want to take. What do you guys feel about that?
To be honest, I feel like it should remain the way it is as far as it being illegal in majority of states. I think there's a clear point of why that is the case. A lot of times with relationships, especially in the Bible, from what I see, it's a man and a woman. I mean, it's never been multiple, and that goes against a lot of religions, even though in some religions, they do approve of it, but it's probably only about 2 or 3. And with my beliefs, I really feel like it should always be one man, one woman in a committed relationship. Anything extra begins to be something as far as a fetish to me.
Okay, that's okay. And what do you think, Zaria, with this type of lifestyle? Is it real to you? Do you feel like people are normalizing it or trying to normalize this new wave that people are on? Personally, I'm having a hard time with women doing this in the first place because me as a woman, and women are already territorial about their men. Men are the same way about their women. So
Yeah.
when we talk about another woman, we tend to have that's mine, and the sharing thing is just not attractive. And I think a lot of women get enroped or get into this because they so in love with the man that having some of him or having rather than lose everything or lose everything about him, they make these decisions. But truthfully, from what I'm seeing, and I'm going to play a clip about and I want you to tell me, what do you see in this clip about the 2 women talking to or being with the man?
Your wife made a big sacrifice for you. If this was on the other foot,
Oof.
and
could you have made the same sacrifice?
Could you make another man? Could you have a triad with another man? Could you have done that?
God willing, I could not. No,
He's honest.
I couldn't.
He's honest.
Everything, and like I said, but there are triads like that. Me particularly now, because like I said, you have 1 or 2 choices. Now I could do it with her if she allowed one rule, and this is a different form of poly. If she said, "Hey, I want another man," I would tell her, like I just described our friends from out of town. Okay, when you go out and sleep with a man, I'm gonna go sleep with other women. If that's the way you want to do it. And now is she gonna allow that? I doubt it's gonna be continuously going around randomly, but I don't know, I can't answer for her.
Yeah.
But if it was in that option, of course, because I am poly. So I could do it that way. But as to me bringing another man, I mean, that diameter is, I gotta be committed just to her, and I gotta kick it with this dude. Or you have the other option that you gonna roll around with this dude. And I'm no disrespect, I'm far from that.
Say no more, young player. Say no more.
Okay, what did y'all think about that?
Well, of course, there's kind of a reason why a lot of times it's one man and multiple women, because in a lot of instances, you won't see a man committing to another man. Like, it's definitely uncommon. More times, I think women are more into or agreeing with it because of, like you said earlier, circumstances. They may not want to lose the man, or they may not have that control in the relationship where they're able to move on without the man. In the event, it's like they want to be able to keep their relationship and keep it going, but they also know that what he's asking is for other women to become involved, and maybe they just want that possibly being in a relationship with another woman is kind of not cheating.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but I also feel like I think it's the same thing as for a man. I feel like it comes down to worth. Like you're figuring that you're not enough. So therefore, in order to lose them, or whether it's man or woman, you rather play into a role that you feel like will work for him. So basically, as long as you have him in some sort. My thing is, when I see stuff like this, I have to guess or wonder whether a woman is truly happy, whether she is just doing this to appease, just to have him. And to me, it makes me feel like they are suffering with their confidence or who they are, their self-worth. And I'm going to let you see, some of them do cross. And what I mean by that is they sleep with each other as well as the man.
Right.
And some of them don't. They just sleep with the man one at a time. So
Right.
they have their own personal relationship with that man.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that, Zaria?
Personally, from what I've seen, I don't see it being normalized. I don't really see it in everyday life at all because it's illegal here. But I've seen people becoming poly, which is just, having multiple partners and they all live in the same house and they're all surrounded by, I've seen that. But polygamy, marrying, I haven't seen really. And I've seen poly become more popular. I've seen that everywhere. I've seen that.
Yeah, that's what everybody's taking it on. Because I was going to say, being that even it's illegal, we still see it. We see multiple living in the same home with a man. They even have TV surrounded around this. So we can get, like, this show, Sister Wives, I've seen before. And a lot of times it's just opening us up to see how they live day to day. And they pretty much try to compare it to us being open to same-sex marriage and same-sex relationships, that we should be open to multiple people in one relationship type deal.
Right. Which is, I understand that people have their interests outside of who they're with, but to me, you open yourself up to all kinds of things, and I don't care who you are. You open yourself up to all kinds of things when you're taking on multiple partners, because a person that truly takes on multiple partners at one time, you got to think about that. If it takes that much, first of all, I would say is, are they dealing with a little addiction? Second, I would say safe-wise, self-care wise, mental wise. It's got to be somewhere, to me, it has to be suffering, or there's a breakdown that you're constantly needing more. And then, first of all, I would say for people that can sign up to say, okay, I'm with you, but I'll be with him, but I'll be with you. This is the new wave. But at the same time, we got to also put, if you are religious or if you are Christian, how can you actually fornicate right there in the same household with someone else's husband, and just because someone else is giving you the okay, as a Christian, you would think it's okay to do that, because someone sin-wise, being a Christian-wise, is suffering. Someone's going to suffer for that. So someone's going to pay for that in the end. Now, I don't put any, hey, guess what? Do you, it's your life, whatever. But all I'm saying is it's got to be a line or something, because it goes against everything. And I feel like people are getting on this new wave because it's a chance for them to not think about the consequences, not think about that, hey, this is a 10 commandment that we're breaking,
right?
But guess what? If you're not Christian, and that would be why you would say it's okay. Now, that does not say that, the Lord and all this won't, because we pray off our sins. We pray for ourselves, forgiveness and everything else. So I can't judge them for their choices. I'm going to say, if you're going to make some choice like that, make sure you can stand on it, and make sure, because I don't see that it does not bother a woman, just like I don't see that it does not bother a man. And I'm going to show you a clip, and you tell me, is this a confident woman that believes in what she's doing? I'm going to show you a clip.
And that's what we do.
26,
And
bro.
Well, but you have to remember,
caught up on the 26.
some of them are grown. So
Okay,
we're not
so
gonna-
Some of them are grown.
so
They
take
live on
out the
their own-
10
they
that are
live in
grown.
their
That's
own
still
house.
16.
Right.
right.
That's still 16 kids. And they say in America it costs X amount of dollars to raise these kids.
Well, we know how to budget.
You're working a full-time job, then you're acting, then you're doing the music, then you're doing Lyft, but you're saying you're there for your children.
Right.
How does that happen?
I explained earlier. Like if I go on an acting gig, like every Saturday, I'm
bringing a kid to
table
work
read right now. Yeah, exactly.
And it also just
But-
seems like it's
but it
leaving
ain't.
it's leaving no room for error. Like it's
Yeah.
that if everything's running smoothly, this is what it is. But what if one child needs something specific, or two of them, or three get sick? Like it's just very specific based on nothing going wrong.
You do what you have to do.
There's not a desire from you at all to be able to put more into the relationship with your kids.
I am putting more in it
Yeah.
every day.
See, that's-
You got one sitting here. Ask her.
Well, Sanai, let me ask
I'm
the
still
young
talking
one.
about Ramika.
Let me ask Sanai, the young one. Do you want more time with your daddy? Would you like to have more time with your daddy?
She's being very shy right now, but to say that they all get their time, whether it's individually, in a group setting, at home, whatever, the point is they see their father on a daily.
So do you see he's saying that it is 26 kids. He has 2 homes. There is a number, and it's true, to taking care of a kid every single year. Can you honestly say he's trying to have a business, he works acting on the weekend, and he drives Lyfts on the weekend? Does that say to you, truthfully, that he can take care of 26 kids?
It does not.
Anybody can take care of 26 kids.
Each kid, I doubt, would be getting the equal amount of attention, or even the attention that they would need from their father. Like they stretched thin, he about to pop at this.
Absolutely. This is what I'm saying with it comes.
That one wife, even if it's just you and her, who is taking care of 26 kids?
Those 2 women are. One of the women work, the other woman stays home.
No matter, there's 8 women. Who is taking care of 20? There's not enough time in the day. Somebody gonna be neglected.
And see what the father was saying is that he can. He spends quality time with all his kids, individual time. Now 2 of us are mothers.
Yes.
Okay, we have fathers. We remember growing up. If your parent worked, even a mother worked, she barely had time to come home working a 40-hour shift and spend quality time every day with us. Most of the time you're coming home to get kids fed, speak to them a little bit at the dinner table, go through homework, take baths, go to sleep, get up to do it all over again. Where is quality time with kids that don't even live with you in the same house, 26 kids? So are we on the same page that this man, there's no way we believe in that these kids are getting the attention? At this point, I'll say with 26 kids and you're Uber driving and you're having 3 jobs, you're not spending the quality time. You're not making the money to take care of 26 kids. There is a number to it. And I think it's like $480 something or something like that a month. Come on. I had 3 kids. In no way is $400 a month feeding 3 kids. These days, you're going back to the store.
Not even calculating out how much they bring in a year to even divide that up to know how that goes amongst
college education.
Pretty much.
School supplies.
Yeah.
School supplies alone with 26 kids.
He has a whole village and literally only has 3 people to support.
Absolutely.
Village. Well, actually 2, because you said one's not working.
Right. One of the ladies is not working. What about this particular video here? This lady goes on to explain how she met her boyfriend. He was cheating on her. They've been together 19 years. He's cheated on her, I guess, whatever. And finally, she wanted to meet the woman he was cheating on. And when she met the woman, instead of leaving him because of the 19 years, she made a deal with her.
Oh, wow.
So she can keep him.
Mm.
But I want you to look at her and tell me if this is not hurt on her face.
How good of a man was he to her?
And you know, we met a troubling time, whatever, and that's how I got with Chantel, because we were on the verge of separating, so a lot of things were going on. I ain't gonna lie, I was a typical man, stepped out, whatever. You know, that's how I came across with Chantel. And when everything we were trying to build back up, me and Shalon, it was Shalon's idea when she found out about Chantel. I said, yo, I want to meet this girl. You know, she got
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Yes, it gets bananas.
Because I looked at it as, if I was to leave outside and just go and find somebody else, I'm like, you know what, I'm over this, I'm going somewhere else, I'm going to find somebody else. What if that happens again? He's going to do the same thing. I invested 19 years with this man to go out here to be with another man to do the same exact thing.
Now, somebody hearing this would say, okay, you just sound like you gave up, girl, and you just willing to accept this man, you know, moving around on you.
It's opening my eyes, because everybody out there in the world doesn't realize at some point in time, you're living the same lifestyle. Before you go on to the next, they're already talking to somebody. Guess what? You're a polygamist.
The one that's sitting next to the gentleman, she just looked like she is so in love and so everything. She doesn't look like a woman that is happy. She shows definite signs of depressed, if you ask me, looking at her. The way she's looking, I think at this point, are we loving a person more than we love ourselves? And that's when you really have lost yourself to give a person permission to cheat right in front of you. I can see a woman being in love with a man, hey, and they want to get married, but he knows she's bisexual.
Okay.
And they make their agreement to have a woman. Okay. I can't say nothing about that because she's going both ways already. So you know for a fact that there's going to be a woman and a man going in.
So there's a benefit.
Men probably wouldn't even have a problem with it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like every man's fantasy. Let's just be real about that. But I'm talking about two straight women or two straight males making a decision out of absolutely love for one person, just so not to lose them, that you will allow them to cheat right in front of your face. I think that's when the line is drawn to where your self-worth.
Because I can't honestly say that I'm getting 100% of him. I can never feel whole or complete knowing that I'm not getting 100% of my man.
I also, there's an argument of, you know, times are changing in a way that people just are different these days. I don't know what to say. Like, it may not be that they're so self-confident, it's just down to the floor, non-existent. It could just very well be
open.
He got another, and you know what? I do my thing over here. He does his thing over here. We got another, like.
Okay, but I get that. I get that. There's nothing wrong with a single person saying, I can date this guy and I can date this guy, because you haven't committed to anyone. That's a total different thing. That's totally different, where you're just taking on partners and you want to do what you want to do. You don't want to commit to anyone.
Has anyone ever looked up like the percentage of how long these relationships last? Because a lot of times when I see it, right, they're in a relationship with multiple women. Then for some reason, one of the women leave or just don't want to do it anymore. And then all they do is they just replace and bring in another woman.
Right.
And this becomes repetitive with that. So it's like there's always a constant change in the relationship. And it's always one that leaves for some reason. So it's not always complete happiness within it. I know they go through a lot, especially with multiple.
They do. I feel like they do. And I can tell you, let me show you the one older. It's an older couple on here. I really want to get to. He's the one that has the 26 kids. But the interviewer is going to ask her. He's going to say he doesn't hear from her because she hardly ever talks, and she could barely answer it. That's what made me feel like, I don't know about this. Now I'm really starting to second guess.
Almost like the relationship happened and you were told to shut up and deal with it. How do you answer that question?
I will answer it like this. That is incorrect.
Okay.
There is no abuse going on. There's none of that at all. I wasn't told to just sit back and shut up because I played a part in it as well. It was my choice. I'm a grown woman, and it was my choice to be or continue in this marriage.
Think about all this. You're 9 years old. Go ahead.
It's okay.
It's okay? Like, what do you mean it's okay? Tell me what's okay.
Shy.
Mm-hmm.
Do your friends say anything to you? No? No friends say, oh, you got 2 moms or anything like that?
No.
Nope. You like the situation the way it works?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You can tell what she was saying was a lie. She was looking down, which makes me believe, when people talk about abuse and things like that, and the guy, the interviewer, basically said it right there. And it took her about a minute before she answered that question. And when they asked the little girl a question, the mom turns to the girl, looking at her, kind of covering to where she's angling so the little girl can see her face. And the little girl's looking at her. And it took the little girl damn near 3 minutes to say, yes. It's like they was trying to coach the girl. But the other woman did the same thing. And I also think there's something behind why people are pushing this. And to me, it's trying to normalize this. But then where does that leave our kids? And truth be told, I could believe that these kids will have issues being in a household like this. Kids are mean. When you have same sex and these kids are teasing these other kids, you got 2 daddies, or you have 2 mommies, or you have this, that, and other. Can you imagine them trying to explain what's going on in their household?
I think something that's really clear to them as far as understanding would probably be hard to explain to someone else. So just imagine being a kid growing up. I mean, you only know what you're taught. So initially, they're going to grow up based off of how they've been brought up, And eventually when that starts to happen and it's not completely normalized right now, just imagine how it would be as the progress,
I would be really interested in talking to someone who actually lived this lifestyle to really know. But I really would want to ask the hard questions, because I feel like when we're looking at these, even with these interviews right here, this guy, the interviewer, was made out to be a very hard interviewer. He shouldn't have asked the question about, are they on systems? Well, to me, that stuff is relevant because it's putting it back on somebody else's back. So why shouldn't he ask the hard-hitting questions? Because this is what's going to open people's and women's eyes, men's eyes, and everybody's eyes to what they truly want. Make sure that it's not settling. At the end of the day, you can make your own choices and what you want to do, but make sure you're not settling. Make sure you're not losing who you are. Make sure your self-worth is intact. Make sure your confidence in nobody shakes that, because you are worthy. And if that's something you want to enter in, don't enter it into lightly. Don't enter it in because you're afraid to lose someone, because you are worth it. Being with someone and someone being with you and treating you and coming home to just you. So hope this helps, and we will see you on the next podcast of Branch Up. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.